This is whiskey. Damn.
Should I step
This is gonna be a podcast.
Do I need to step it up?
Hello, everybody, and welcome to episode number 26 of Ignore the Backlog. My name is The Real Ports, and Evil Space Bunny is here with me. Bunny, how you doing?
Hi, I'm good.
Good.
I started laughing when you started saying that, and I don't know why.
Because you're a nervous fuck.
Apparently. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, definitely.
Let's be real. I think everybody is right now.
Is there anything worse than laughing when you shouldn't? There's nothing worse than that.
Yeah.
And it's like a tense situation or something, and you're like laughing. I got pulled over once for making out with a girl in my car.
Yeah.
We were on private property apparently, and the cop pulled us over and like shined a light and all that shit. And they were like, "Hey, you know this is private property. You can't be here." I was like, "Oh, okay, yeah." And then he was like going to like look me up or whatever. And I like started smiling, and he's like, "What, do you think something's funny?" And I was like, "No, I just haven't been in this situation before." And he was like, "Oh, okay, we'll see about that." I was like, "Okay."
Okay.
He's like, you had a look on your face like you thought this was bullshit or something. I was like, it's a nervous tick. What do you fucking move on, dude? Are we getting a ticket or are we not?
I'm the person that laughs at the funeral and shit for no reason. Just
yeah,
because,
I've never. Well, I haven't been to a funeral since I was like 7, so I don't know if I'm that way at funerals, but I probably would be.
Either I'm ugly crying or I'm laughing at like stupid shit.
Oh.
Yeah, it's one or the other. There's no.
What if it was both at the same time? They're like, who the fuck invited the Joker?
Oh shit!
You're like handing out cards. I have a medical condition.
I have a medical condition. Please be patient. Oh shit! Yeah, pretty much. Okay.
How you been doing? What's going on with you? What you playing?
I have been playing a few games. I got hardcore back into modded Minecraft again. But besides all that, I did beat a couple games this week. I beat Bladed Fury, which I talked about last week with the girl, her dad, revenge, blah, 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 blah. The ending, I literally had 5 minutes left of that game. All I had to do was go beat that last boss right before we recorded. And I was like, God
nice.
Damn it. I was so pissed. I was like, whatever, it's fine. It was like an easy click for me. But it was such a good game, and it was a pretty game, and it was just like a nice hack and slash side scroller, so I enjoyed it a lot. After watching you play, spoilers for your games, Inside, I went to go play the predecessor, Limbo. Yeah. Limbo has a lot of the same aspects where you get to watch a child die in many various ways over and over again. But the puzzles I felt were more annoying than Inside, and the ending was incredibly depressing and very anticlimactic compared to Inside.
Oh.
Yeah.
That sucks.
I was like super bummed. I'm like, oh, that's the end? And I'm like, oh, fine. I definitely say from the two games that this developer have done, Inside is definitely the better of the two.
Yeah. It was also after, right?
Yeah.
So maybe they just learned some lessons along the way.
I think that was part of it, because like Limbo was only on the Xbox for like a long ass time, and it was an exclusive on the Xbox store, so you couldn't get it even on the PC for
I forgot about
time.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I played it because I had gotten rid of my Xbox at that time, and I played it through a friend through his Xbox. So then the game that really like consumed me the past couple of nights, and I've been playing it like nonstop almost every night, like Josh goes to bed, and I literally jump into everything. Like the little holy shit, if somebody would have told me that this game was what this was, I would have spent way more time in it, and I would have played it a whole lot fucking sooner, because like I, being an edgy teen lord, or edgelord? Yes, edgelord teenager, I loved Alan Watts. And like
Alan Watts is not edgy. That's not what that is. You keep saying edgelord.
He's not edgy, but I was like this weird philosophical edgy teenager. Just trust me.
Yeah, you spend a lot of time pondering existence.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
As most teenagers do, and well, I did.
Not me.
I was one of those teenagers who's like, why am I here?
Too busy getting pussy. Oh, okay.
You're homeschooled. What pussy are you getting?
Shh. Not everyone knows that. Jesus Christ.
Every week.
I know.
And but like the very first thing that happened when you're like starting as like the little particle is like, whose fault is this? And I was like, oh my God, that's such the millennial thing to say. But the game was like so gorgeous. And I love Alan Watts' lectures. And like I used to listen to them when I was a teenager, like I said. And so like to hear them again after like almost 20 years of before listening to them, like it was just kind of like mind blowing. And I was just like, holy fuck, Alan Watts is in this? And I was like, I love this. This is amazing. And I literally spent hours and went through the portal and everything where you get to like the sad part where you go to the Golden Gates and then you have to like delete all your thoughts and stuff like that, to delete all the negativity in your life, to like realize the good things and go back into the everything.
That game is what got me into Alan Watts.
Really?
I love it. Yep.
It's such a good game. I don't know if I technically beat it or not, because like that's not the ending, that's the beginning of the game, right?
Yeah, I don't know. I got to that part and stopped, but I don't think there is. I don't know if it just like cycles through. I don't know if there's new shit. I honestly have no idea. I would say if you want to count that as beat, I'm good with it.
Okay, then technically I beat that one. But like going through all these different games, or like just listening to them and just like hearing them, it was just so amazing. And just like now I'm probably gonna like go like get drunk again tonight and listen to Alan Watts as I run around trying to collect all the stupid particles and shit. It's been so much fun, especially the space parts. Oh, I love that whole, like, it's so gorgeous, and I love space stuff, so it was just like my fucking jam.
Remarkable how much content's in that game.
It's insane. And like how everything is what is it called? The generation, where it's like randomly generated, or like procedural generation. Yes. That's just like insane. And like just going in and out and like going back and going all the way back and like just keep ascending or descending. It's insane. It's so much fun. Absolutely 100% amazing game.
Yep. I don't remember what turned me onto that game, because I remember picking it up at a time where I wasn't really into... I had like a specific vision of what video games were.
Yeah.
And I was like, that's not it. Like that and like Proteus came out around the same time. That game was more of a disappointment, but those kind of games I stayed away from. But I think I got one of them for free. I don't remember if it was everything or
I think
if
everything
I paid for
was
it,
free
but...
on Epic for a while.
Well, this is before Epic. I played it before Epic came out, but the launcher, I mean.
Gotcha.
So I don't know when I picked it up, but it I think it took part, or it played a part in me rethinking, like, video games are just video games. Like, I don't need such a rigid idea of what I need to play, you know?
Right. Like, when I was playing this, I was like, I don't think ports would like this. And then Alan Watts came on. I'm like,
you're like, oh my God, he is the biggest.
I was like so conflicted at that
point. Can we go a podcast without mentioning Alan Watts? No, we cannot.
Well, you did that one stream. That was actually a really good stream.
It was so fun. I had so much
I think you should do more shit like that, where you're just chatting. So. I think you have like the capacity to do like just chatting and like keep conversations going, where I don't. That's why I have the
I just need people in my stream. Like, people are not there right away usually. So I need to like play games for like an hour and then switch to just chatting.
There you go. Like, maybe start with something simple and then switch to your Alan Watts hour or something.
Yeah. I mean, All at Once did fine, I guess.
Yeah.
It was like, I think, barely below my average. So
that's good. And then the last game I played was, well, I had another game besides this, but I played A Short Hike, which you played last week, because I think we both got it on Epic for free.
Mm-hmm.
It was such a cute little game where you just like wander around and collect things and just like talk to people and like slowly watch how you affect the island as you talk to different people and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And then of course the ending comes and I got super emotional because just trauma in my life, and it was such a good, it was a cute game. It was a good like couple hour game for me.
I love the simplicity of that game.
Yeah, right?
Because it has a lot of elements from like 3D platformers.
Uh-huh.
But it's so basic and low maintenance, I guess. It's like, it's definitely not a walking simulator.
No.
There's quests and stuff, but there is like a simplicity. It's not like a mobile game either. You don't think of it like that. It's like, I don't know. There's an elegance to it that doesn't get in your way. Obviously, it's very short, and it's hard to say like how I would feel if I paid money for the game, because it is a very short experience.
Right.
But having received it for free, thank you, Epic. It was a great time.
Yeah, I think it was just kind of one of those things that you kind of have to experience, and it has no sense of urgency. Like, you could take it as your own pace and just, like, kind of do the things. It's like, hey, do you want to race me? And I'm like, no, I'm good right now. I'll race you later, maybe. And, like, talking to different people and then going back to those situations and stuff like that. And that fucking game was so big. I was actually really impressed how big that little island was that you're on.
Mm-hmm.
And it was really cute. It was really enjoyable.
Yeah. No, I agree. 100%.
Yeah. So, like, everyone should definitely, if you have time, check that one out. And then the last game I want to play, and I just want to touch on it again, I did my Doom Nightmare run, and I'm probably going to continue it this weekend on Saturday, and holy shit, it's so... I fucking Doom! Doom is so good! Why is it such...
Doom Eternal is a triumph.
It's a masterpiece.
It's so good.
It's such a masterpiece.
It's a goddamn masterpiece. It really fucking is. I think it's a damn near perfect shooter, and I've only said that about one other shooter, and that was Fear.
Oh yeah,
and Fear, I think, is even less as good as this, and that like pains me to say. I haven't finalized my opinion on that, but right now, feeling high on Doom Eternal, it's like fucking getting dethroned, I think.
It's so good. Like, I have 30 hours in the game almost now because I've just been like fucking hammering my head, and like even though
I don't.
Oh, go ahead.
I think you and I have different. So this isn't like me judging you for doing it, but I think my reason for not replaying it right now is I don't want to burn myself out on it, because I think that could happen to me easily.
Yeah, I could kind of get that. I definitely want to do my Nightmare run and like 100% it, but I'm just like still on that momentum, and I still have that muscle memory still in my head. So while I still have that, I kind of just want to beat the shit out of it until I don't want to play it no more.
Here's a question for you.
Yeah.
What the fuck genre, when we're talking about shooters, you know, Doom is in there and Fear is in there, obviously. Yeah. They're shooters. But Red Dead Redemption is not the same thing.
Not
even
the
though
same thing.
Most of what you do is shoot people, it's like what genre is that? You can't say open world, because that's every Assassin's Creed game. It's obviously not the same as that.
It is kind of like Assassin's Creed, though. I would actually compare it more to Assassin's Creed compared to Doom, because of the simple fact that it's so story driven. And it doesn't focus on the mechanics of the gameplay, because like with Doom Eternal, you're just like all over the fucking place. You're using different guns for different situations. Same thing with Fear too. You use different guns for different situations. Where Red Dead Redemption, you could shoot a fucking bear with like a pea shooter if you really, really wanted to, like an idiot. But like it doesn't focus on mechanics where Doom did. And the story was just kind of there to keep you going, where Red Dead Redemption doesn't focus on the mechanics. It focuses more on the story, and that's what keeps you going.
Yeah, that's true. So it's obviously more story-based.
Yes.
I would say it pains me to put it in the same camp as Assassin's Creed or like Far Cry, because you mentioned the gameplay is not what's drawing you forward, but that's not that sort of is the loop in Ubisoft games like that, where you're supposed to interact with the map, like the mechanics of climbing towers and fucking follow missions. Those are the pillars of that to me. Like, yeah, the story is there and it's usually okay. It doesn't reach the level of Red Dead.
No.
And Red Dead is like
nothing will reach Red Dead's Redemption like any of
I guess
Rockstar.
They're just Rockstar games.
It's just Rockstar games, honestly.
It's just a Rockstar game. Yeah. It's almost unfair to compare it to other video games.
Kinda, just because like
fuck.
Yeah, Rockstar just like takes its stuff and like puts the most polish on it. Kinda, I would even compare Rockstar to Project Red or Project CD Red or whatever.
Yes. Yeah.
Because they kind of do the same thing. Even with like the first Witcher and stuff like that, they tried with those weird mechanics, but once they got rid of those mechanics and like how shitty, like one of my friends, he defends them to the end of the world. Sorry, Foo, fuck you, but I hated them. But like once they got rid of that in like Witcher 2 and like obviously Witcher 3, which was a fucking masterpiece, like hello? Yeah, get rid of that shit.
Those, I mean, calling that an open world, I guess you call it, because like Witcher 3 open world RPG is like basically defines the genre.
Yeah.
But open world shooter for Red Dead doesn't feel right either, because the shooting has almost nothing to do with why I'm there.
It's a bad shooter.
It's not. I don't think it's that bad. It is definitely not top tier, but it's not. It's not like a dog shit. Like shooting people is fun in the game.
Yeah.
It's not challenging, but it is fun.
Yeah, it's not like
it's almost like a fucking bar, like Cabela's game.
Right.
You know, like it's just like pop them off. And it's barely challenging, but I don't know, man. It's almost I don't know. I don't want to get fucking weird about it, but it's like an experiential thing. It's like you interact with the world, and it's like living and breathing. Anyway, I'm tired of using buzzwords. We don't have to talk about Red Dead anymore.
Fair enough. I know. I think I need to sit down and actually finish the story for Red Dead Redemption 2. We got it so long ago. I've put it off for so long. Now it's finally time to like sit down and do it.
I'm still playing I'm trying to 100% it on console. I want to redo it on PC.
Oh no, boys.
It's so good. I've played only that one session with you on PC. That's all I've touched in my PC copy.
Oh no, we need to play it again.
Mm-hmm.
We're gonna need to get dressed up.
I bought that outfit and everything.
Yeah, we gotta
Jesus
get dressed
Christ.
up. We gotta get dressed up. Okay, anyway, enough about me.
Yeah.
What did you fucking play this
tangent. Week? Yeah, I didn't play a whole... Well, I played a little bit more than I thought because I forgot that I basically beat 2 games after we recorded like, the same day.
Oh, look at you.
I know. Well, I was close on Dusk, right? During the podcast, I was like, I'm going to beat it tonight. So Dusk I beat. Dusk is fucking phenomenal.
Dusk.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, that's right. The Doom kind of remake.
It's like a Quake.
Yeah, or Quake, sorry. Doom, Quake, sort of the same thing.
Same idea. Birthed from the same vagina. That game is incredible. I think I probably said everything I needed to say about it last week.
Mm-hmm. Wait, did you talk about it last week?
Yeah, I did.
Okay, you did. I'm sorry, I forgot.
That's okay.
How dare I?
What what I don't think I said was I think the bosses are kind of shit in that game.
They kind of did
just
look
mechanically.
Like shit. Yeah.
Mechanically, design wise, I think they're okay, but like mechanically, they were so easy. It's like the easiest part of the game. Everything else is really well. Not everything, but there were very hard moments that had nothing to do with the bosses, and the bosses were easy.
Oh, no.
Even the final boss was pretty fucking easy.
Oh, no.
But
okay.
Great game overall.
Okay, so you beat that one. What else did you play?
So I beat Inside, obviously. You saw me stream that.
That's right.
And fuck. You were talking about Limbo not climaxing that hard. Inside climaxes
so good
with the best of them, you know?
Right?
Moans and all. Just, yeah, hits that shit.
I thought you would enjoy that. Yeah.
It's so good. I don't want to spoil it because I think people should play it.
So good.
But there's, if you're like me, who a lot of people, well, not a lot, a couple of people were like, Ports shouldn't be playing this game because he hates puzzles, right?
It's not
CK in particular was
puzzles.
like,
it's not
the
that
first
bad.
time she saw me playing it, she was like, he's playing Inside? Does he know it's a puzzle game? And I'm glad you withheld that information. I gave you so much shit about it because it's funny. But,
I
know. If you're like me and you don't like puzzle games, there are puzzles in it, but they're
manageable.
They're manageable. They're manageable. I didn't love them, but it's like they get you through the game. And I honestly, I spent the whole time wondering, why the fuck am I playing this game? And once you get to the end, you figure it out. Like that's what that game is. That's what the game is.
Right. I told you, it's just such a weird game, and it's just like so weird, kind of philosophical to go back to. Like I
would like to replay it maybe because
you want to get the other ending, right?
I remember being like 3 hours into it. No, I don't even give a shit about that. What I give a shit about is paying attention to what happens along the way, because I wasn't paying that much attention because like they're gonna explain what's going on, and they never do that. Mm-hmm. So pay attention to what's happening while it's happening, because there's no text or audio logs. There's no dialogue in the game, actually.
No, there's none except for the dogs barking. That's literally it.
Yeah.
That's the only audio.
Fuck those goddamn things, by the way. Those are terrifying.
Oh my god, watching you actually get scared, I'm like, oh, Ports is actually getting scared. I thought Ports didn't get scared in video games.
I thought I was above it, but this fucking
trust me.
Turns out Inside
I had a nightmare about those dogs. Like, they're
wow,
scary.
Really?
Yeah, they got me.
I would say the stories I've heard about, like the original RE games and dogs, like people being freaked out.
Fuck.
That's the closest I've gotten to that feeling, is those dogs in that game, because and it's weird because there's no great detriment to dying.
Oh yeah.
There's like you just reset like 30 seconds, a minute, 2 minutes maybe earlier, and it's fine. Everything's fine, but it's still, maybe it's because you're a kid. Watching the kid die over and over again is like really fucking hard.
Right? That's how Limbo is too. But like you're just watching this kid, like watching him get skewered by a spider. And I was just like, fuck.
Yeah. So, Inside, great game.
I'm glad you enjoyed it. I'm glad I fucking didn't tell you the whole details of the game.
Yes. That's key, I think.
Yeah.
For me.
Oh yeah, it's not a puzzle. I would compare it to like Portal's puzzles, because like Portal's puzzles are like there, and they're not super difficult, but they're a part of the game and they're part of the mechanics, and that's how I felt about Inside.
Portal does a cool thing that makes you feel smart. Mm-hmm. That I don't think Inside does.
With the momentum,
even though you probably don't earn it in Portal, because they're not, like you're saying, they're not that hard, but they still kind of bend your brain in a way that Inside didn't really do for me. But I think the difficulty level in actuality is probably comparable.
Right. For sure.
So the final game I talked about was not nearly as good as the last two games I talked about, and that is Soul Calibur 6. There was a resurgence. All right, a revolution of fighting game story modes, and Mortal Kombat was I think Mortal Kombat 9 was the turning point. And then there was Injustice, Mortal Kombat 10, Injustice 2, and no one else has seemed to caught up. It's only NetherRealm that seems to be able to do it.
Right.
I don't know of any other fighting game franchises that have stepped up to it. Soul Calibur 6, not one of them.
Oh no.
They still have text walls, and then combat, and then text walls. They do narrate some of it, but actually all of it, I think. But it's anime as fuck, but not visually stimulating.
Oh no! So they're not like making poses and shit like that while they fucking yell at each other.
Most of the time, you're looking at a fucking picture.
Oh no.
Yeah.
That's super boring. Like, at least let me watch him slightly moving character. Like when they're getting ready for the battle, when they're just like having that natural movement. A couple like choreographed cutscenes, but the rest of them are just a blank fucking like in the beginning, for the first 20 minutes of this fucking thing,
You're just staring at a fucking picture of your training grounds or whatever, and conversation is popping up, and they'll like pop up still images of whoever's talking. That's how that fucking looks.
Yikes! I haven't played it. I haven't played a Soul Calibur in a long ass time, so.
I'll say the mechanics feel exactly the same as 5, so playing this was kind of a waste of time.
Oh no!
I will say I'm cheesing this a little bit because there are 2 campaigns, but I don't want to play both of them because the second one is like just a not rehashing, but it like interweaves your own created character into the story, so it's like the same story, and I just don't want to fucking. I don't need more detail in this fucking anime basic ass bullshit.
Yeah, I know how you feel about your weeb shit, as we would say.
Yeah.
Which always makes me question how you like Nier Automata.
I know, isn't that so weird?
It's so weird because like Adam and Eve are like the most anime characters ever in existence, and like watching their cutscenes was just like so cringe.
I did cringe a lot at those, for sure. Of course I did. Yes.
Fair.
Yeah.
You were just there for 2B butt.
2B butt. Yeah. Butt. I just honestly I didn't even beat the game. I just like sat on the ladder.
Why didn't you self-destruct and just walk around with no skirt?
Oh, that's true. Fuck. I should go back and do that. That'll be my 100% playthrough.
There you go. Proud of you.
So, how many games are you at right now? How many beat?
I am, if we include everything, that means I'm at 26.
Okay.
What are you at?
You're 1 ahead of me.
Okay, so you're
I'm
at 25.
At 25.
Okay, so you only beat 2, and I only beat 3, like an idiot this week. Wait, no, I beat 4.
I beat 3.
You beat 3.
Yeah.
I can't math, apparently. It's just all this delicious Eagle Rare going into my veins.
Yeah.
Oh, girl.
So the reason I didn't play more.
What did you get sucked into?
Reason,
what did you get it sucked into? I told you what I got sucked into.
I'll give you a guess.
Dota and League of Legends.
So I did play both of those, but it's not that.
What did you? Oh, I know because I have an inside guy. Is it Ball Run?
Ball Run?
Okay, never mind.
Balroom. No, it's not that either.
Shit, what is it?
I would have talked about that in like my main thing.
Oh, fair enough. Sorry.
No, so I fell back into the old. So I'm working from home now, right?
Yep.
Which, by the way, is the best fucking thing in the world.
Congratulations.
Thank you. I know it's a terrible time for like everyone, but it's going real good for me. So. God damn it, there's a fucking dog outside.
God damn it, dog!
Anyway, I fell back into my RuneScape hole.
No!
Which is like the deepest hole you can get into. Like, Dota makes me rage, but nothing sucks up my time like fucking RuneScape. I played, listen to me, I'm not exaggerating when I tell you this, okay?
How many hours?
I don't know.
Oh.
Total? Fucking years. I have no idea.
This week.
I don't know. Well, actually, I just started on Saturday,
okay.
So not that much. But I will say that I'm not exaggerating when I say this. I'm not fibbing in any way.
Yeah.
For 5 hours straight, I ran in a circle. And that is RuneScape.
It's funny that you say this because, like, I was looking at my game that sucks me in. It's not an MMO, it's Warframe. And I was like, I fucking the shit out of it, but I haven't updated it in, like, 5 or 6 months now. And so, like, I was just like, all I'm gonna do is just get on Frost and sit in my bubble for, like, fucking 5 or 6 hours at a time. What is wrong with me? Yeah, no. It's funny because, like, all my friends are going back to their, like, subscription games and stuff like that. They're like, well, World of Warcraft.
It's a good time for it. It's a great time for it.
Even Josh brought it up. He's like, I think I'm going to subscribe to a game. And I'm like, do it. Just do it.
Hell yeah.
Just fucking do it.
If he needs some convincing, I can get him on RuneScape.
He will never play RuneScape.
No, I know. Most people won't. And that's fair enough. I understand for sure. It blows my mind that I still want to play it.
It blows my mind that you're fucking still playing it and that you got sucked back in.
I was showing my girlfriend a cape that my character's wearing, and I said, "You see that?" She's like, "Yeah." I was like, that is a result of over 500 hours of work. You don't understand, though. When people see it, okay? When people see it, they lose their fucking minds. And it makes me feel good and wanted, okay?
It makes you feel... You gotta, like, stroke that fucking RuneScape cock right now. You're just like...
It makes me feel beautiful, okay?
Oh my god, I can't believe you're playing that. Oh my god.
It's such a good work from home game because there's so much to do in that game that barely requires input. So you just like sit it there while you're working, and it's the game almost plays itself.
Kind of like EVE Online. EVE Online, you can have shit like going on in the background.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Right. Yep. There's farming where that takes literal like actual minutes. I think there's some trees that take like a day and a half of real time to fucking grow.
Yeah.
Dope. You can have a dope ass house. It's OG. It's one of the best video games ever for sure. There's so much to do in it. Now most of it's boring as fuck, but there's a lot to do.
There's a lot to do, and we have all this time because we're stuck inside. Yeah, no.
Yep.
That's why I've been kind of playing Minecraft. I'm like juggling 3 my mod packs right now, so I have that going for me.
Well, in probably the longest video game segment ever, you want to bring it to a close? We can talk about
let's go talk about the news because we fucking rattled on way too long. Okay.
Every time I'm like, I don't have much to talk about, we talk about way too much. It's like a reverse psychology thing.
Yeah, I think that's for both of us because like I'm like, I only play 4 games, and then we talked forever about my shit.
4 games is so much though.
Anyway, okay.
And then Red Dead pops in there. Anyway,
God damn it, Red Dead Redemption. So to quickie news, sports simulators are actually a huge hit right now. So I love this story so much. I know. I sent you a bunch of articles. I sent you a bunch of shit about it. But NBA 2K, eNASCAR is a thing, and eHNL is like a huge thing. And they're either being broadcasted to YouTube or Twitch. It's kind of, there's no consistency with this right now. So it's like the local teams doing it, or like, but like the eNASCAR got picked up by FS1, which is a Fox sports channel. Fox Sports 1, yeah. Fox Sports 1, the first one. Wow. Yeah, so like, and that was actually done by a real person because I looked into it a little bit more. He talked about it, and like he was just, you know, kind of bullshitting as the video game did its simulation. NBA 2K has their own Twitch channel, but it is still being played by 2 players that are very competitive, and they're pretty funny if you watch them play back and forth because they. Have you ever gotten into any sports games? I used to play like Madden back in the day, but it's been a long ass time. Honestly, I've been thinking low key. I super want to get back into NBA 2K. Because going through my career, like earning your way through the NBA, the NBA is like the only sport that I've really consumed ever. And I'm not that attached to it, but when I was a kid, I kind of was. Yeah. And it still gives me that like the like athlete dream, you know? Right. I was really, I'm kind of into football. I'm not so much anymore because I just don't have time to consume it. But, like, I definitely am a diehard Seahawks fan, and, like, I love watching and keeping up with, like, all the stuff. I just don't watch the games. I just watch the scores. Yeah. And I was really big into fantasy for a long-ass time. But when I was younger in my high school years, I played a lot of the NBA games. And those were my fucking jam. Like, the old school ones we're talking about. Yeah. Yeah. On the PlayStation. I used to. My parents were like super big Blazer fans, and when like it was off season or whatever, I would like beg that. I was like, you know,
because they were super limiting my video game time. I don't know if I've complained about this before, but my parents didn't let me play fucking video games very much. And so I would be like, hey, there could be a Blazer game on tonight. And they were just like, oh, fucking get the fuck away from me.
Oh, no.
Like saying I'd play it like on the PlayStation on the TV. Mm-hmm. They didn't get it or think it was funny.
Aww.
And still didn't let me play. Aww. And it was very depressing.
Oh, poor baby Forts. Yeah, we go to at least a Blazer game once a year. Because my stepmom, my inherited mom, she gives us tickets usually. And, like, they're always fun, and they're just, like, crazy, and I usually just get shit-faced the entire time. But not to brag, I used to feed the Blazers at my old catering company.
At, like, the Blazers petting zoo.
Kind of. Like, so the catering company would drop off all the food, and they would get chocolate chip cookies from us. So, like, we would feed 60 people. Because that's how many, like, their team members and also, like, all their staff and shit like that. So it was like 60 people, but we would send food for 190 people. And I would have to send almost 200 cookies because they just fucking would destroy them. Like Damian Lillard one time didn't get his cookies and he was very upset. He was very upset. Anyway,
that's great.
But yeah, I think people should keep an eye out for these simulations that are happening.
I want to consume as much as I can. You sent me a hockey link. I'm not that into hockey. I would love to watch. My dream is that real people start commentating fake simulated games with no one playing it, just like a simulation and people commentating on it.
Well, so that's already happened with NASCAR, so it's just a matter of time before like it actually happens and they pick up the NBA 2K.
I'll have to see if my little brother knows about this because he's a fucking NASCAR nut.
Yeah.
He must know about this.
He probably does because like it was one of their like huge like pre-game or their pre-races qualifiers because like they can't do it right now. They were supposed to broadcast it yesterday on the 29th, but because of all this whole thing and all the scheduling, everything going to shit because of COVID-19, like everything's getting pushed back or like completely canceled. So
God, we're already on COVID-19. Jesus Christ.
Coronavirus, COVID-19. I mean,
I know. I'm kidding.
Yeah, it's fine. But like,
it was a dumb joke. Move on. I made a mistake.
I'm sorry. But like, yeah, I think definitely people should check these out because like this is bringing more video games and like esports potentially to the front of the news. So like, even if you're not a sports head, check these out and bring these up to other people.
I know we're spending way too much time on this, but the hockey video that I watched was unbelievable. It's so weird. The LA Kings put it out, right? The LA Kings.
Right.
The franchise, the fucking team, and in the beginning, it had two guys talking about the actual team, the real team, and the state of what's going on.
Right.
Didn't address the fact that it's going to be a simulation that you're watching.
No, they treated it like a real fucking game.
They treated it like a real thing, but then those guys don't exist anymore in the rest of the video. They cut to a real shot of whatever ice rink or whatever they have there, whatever hockey happens there.
Yeah.
And it's real people singing the national anthem. I assume it's like a VOD from some fucking past game that really happened. Yeah. So that happens. It's setting up for a real fucking hockey game. And then it just cuts to video game footage.
Yeah.
With the video game commentator.
It was a little awkward because, yeah, like you said, but I think this is a good thing, like having these simulations happening right now with everything, and yeah.
If it's handled right. If it's not handled right, it's going to be like, this is a fucking joke.
This is kind of weird.
Because the one thing that needs to change is it has to be real people commentating it. Otherwise, and the people need to address it. Like, it needs to become like it needs to like find its own niche. Like, you can't just pretend you're doing the regular thing, or you can't just let it do what it does because the commentary gets so repetitive and like they start talking about shit that does not matter at all because it's like from the year before or whatever.
Kinda, yeah.
So, I hope they handle it right. It seems like NASCAR probably is.
I think,
and that blows my mind because NASCAR, if you think about NASCAR fans, like picture a NASCAR fan and tell me how much of a mullet they don't have. Because they have it. They have a mullet for sure. And they don't know how the internet works, but they're like the ones pioneering this shit. Right. It's so funny to me.
It's a weird situation, but I think it's hella cool. I think it's super cool. And like hopefully we see more of this maybe even in the future, like after this whole thing blows over.
Yeah, like in the like off seasons or like what like right. Little mini segments of like highlights of like what would have happened. Like I don't know. I have way too high hopes for this, and I hope half of it works out.
Right. Okay. Anyway, let's skip to the next thing. So we talked about Plague Inc. a couple weeks ago, but Plague Inc. just pushed out this new thing that they're trying to do, which lets users save the world. Instead of trying to destroy the world, you basically are part of the CDC, and you're working on a team to figure out how this disease spread and like try to cure the world as quickly as possible with minimal casualties. I think it's kind of a nice thing. It's a smart move for Plague Inc. Cause
it's like they're probably listen. You're probably in a video game circle of people if you're listening to this podcast. There's no chance that this game hasn't come up, right? Because it's what's happening.
Yeah.
And they're responding to that, and that's fucking super cool. It's cool, and it's smart.
It's a smart
from a business standpoint. Right. And from like a just humanitarian, like let's bring some light here.
Right. And I think it's just kind of cute and it's kind of sweet. I just kind of wanted to do a quick top on it, and I think it's just kind of cool. But still, speaking of COVID-19, the WHO or the World Health Organization has urged.
Oh, that's what it stands for. I've been trying to figure out for like 3 weeks.
Fuck you.
I was like, Doctor Who? What?
Yes, obviously Doctor Who. We're going to get in the TARDIS and we're going to fly away from this whole fucking shit show. So Who has teamed up with a couple other CEOs, including Bobby from Activision and the Riot CEO, Niccolo. Shit.
Is that really his name, Niccolo?
I'm pretty sure it's Nicolo. Niccolo?
Wow.
Yeah, he has a very odd last name or first name. But like they're teaming up together to push this Twitter hashtag play together apart or play apart together. And it's like, okay, you're basically telling gamers something that they've been doing for literally years now. Like, this is something that we've been fucking doing for a long time, and everybody makes fun of us. It's like, oh, internet friends aren't real friends. Fuck you. Some of my best friends I've known for like 20, 30 years almost. No, not 30 years, but definitely 20 years. Like, I've known them for a long ass time on the internet. They're still some of my dearest and best friends, and I still talk to them almost on a daily basis.
Yeah.
Like, and they know me better than like some of my IRL friends.
Yeah.
So, like, it's silly that they're trying to push this hashtag and they've, like, teamed up with Activision and Riot. But I just thought it was kind of funny.
Yeah. I mean, there's lots of people who have a harder time adjusting.
Right.
Even some of the people, I think you mentioned to me, like, man, like, now that I can't go out, that's all I want to do.
Right.
Like, there is some pressure that you can't negate with just it's the same inside as it always was. It's not, obviously. Mm-mm. But I think I don't know what a campaign like this is supposed to fucking, I don't know. Anyone who thinks one way about the situation probably is not going to change their mind, I think. But at this point, there was a point early on, like February, where I was like, this doesn't feel like that big of a deal. I think we'll be fine. And now, obviously, I'm a completely different fucking human being.
Right. Like, even back in February,
I think at this point, I don't think people are going to change. If there's, like, spring breakers out there, they're probably not going to change for, like, 5 or 6 years, and by then, it'll all be over. But,
right.
Yeah. Good luck. You got to do something, right? So, whatever.
Right. And, like, they've been trying to push, like, live concerts and, like, live streaming events. Like, Twitch had their own live streaming event, which raised money for research, I think.
I think it's interesting, the sort of things that it's forcing to have happen, like, online. I wonder what, like, if anything's going to go away now that So like, Giant Bomb is one of my favorite websites for like just video game entertainment.
Right.
And they are all remote right now. Like, they're all just doing stuff from home, and I'm enjoying the content just as much as I did as when they were in studio.
Yeah.
And if I were CBS, who owns them, I would be like, why do we fucking pay for that office? Just have them fucking work from home anyway. So I don't know if it makes me wonder if certain things are going to go away because of this, and if that's not such a bad thing.
Right, but like, I don't know. I think it's funny that who is pushing this, like promoting people to stay inside and like play video games and like enjoy these concerts and shit like that, when considering a few years ago it was them who classified gaming and like excessive gaming as a mental condition. It was like 2 years ago where they classified like addiction to gaming. Yeah, they were the ones who. Wow. It was like
which I will say that is a real thing. Yeah, people do have that. I don't know. Like any addiction, it's less about what you're doing and more about what's going on inside, obviously. Right. So video game is just the outlet that it could take. Like, obviously it could take many forms, but I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm getting out of my depth here.
I think we're both already inebriated to get out of our depth right now, but yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
No.
But
yeah. Oh, sorry, go ahead.
We'll see.
Yeah,
I have nothing to say. I'm just speaking because, it's a podcast.
I think that's what we're supposed to do, right? We're kind of supposed to do that.
Yeah. Let's make it up. Fuck it.
Anyway, next thing. So I know how much you loved the idea of Ryan Reynolds and that shitty Free Guy movie, which I don't think...
Oh, here's the thing.
Oh?
I will say, I love the idea. I do.
Okay.
But the trailer bored me to tears.
Oh, no!
I think Ryan Reynolds making video gamey shit only works if it's good, and that trailer looked bad. What the fuck is that movie even called?
Free Guy.
Free Guy. Yeah. Looks terrible. It did
look pretty
Can't
bad.
wait for it to come out and be terrible. Oh, wait, did it come out?
I don't know, because of like this whole shit show. I don't know.
Yeah. Okay.
I think it was supposed to come out in like summer of this year, but who the fuck knows at this point?
Hugh Jackman had a movie coming out. I don't remember what it's called, but he tweeted, he was like, hey, please don't go see this. Like, we're going to release it digital the same day. Just don't go outside. Just watch it in your house.
Good guy, Hugh Jackman. He's such a cutie. Yep. Anyway,
I love him.
So Ryan Reynolds is making a new video game /TV/movie thing. Except he's gonna be one of my childhood crush's boyfriends. He's gonna be Dirk from the live action version of Dragon's Lair. Did you ever play the Dragon's Lair games back in the day?
No, of course not. First of all, I'm too young. Second of all, it's a bad game.
What? Okay.
Yeah, it's a bad game.
Have you ever seen the artwork from that though?
Yeah, it's got cool art. Bad game.
Okay, fair enough. I will say that the game sucks because like that game, because I played the arcade version. I never played the version on the Nintendo because I didn't have a Nintendo at the time, but I played the arcade version, and fucking the princess, she was my mega crush growing up, and like I put so many quarters into that machine just trying to get more scenes with the princess and like stuff like that. But definitely I'm kind of excited for this. It's gonna depend. I think Ryan go ahead.
This is gonna detract from what you're talking about, but it's more interesting.
Mm-hmm. Go for it.
I'm kidding. I'm sorry.
Usually it is.
When this is all over, we should go to the arcade.
Yes!
Because when I was in San Diego for TwitchCon, there was an arcade there. I forget the name of it, but it's like downtown. Like, it's probably the only one. It was super fun. When you just get blasted,
oh my god,
and play co-op, like a co-op fucking arcade game with somebody, like start to finish, fuck the core. Who gives a shit how many quarters you're spending? Just fucking pop them in. It's so fun. I thought it was so fucking fun. While I was drunk, obviously.
Oh, yeah.
Sober, I bet it'd be terrible. But
We should definitely hit up the different, because there's like 2 or 3 arcades around here that serve booze.
I've never been to Ground Control.
What?
So I should probably start there. I know.
What? You're breaking my heart.
I know.
Okay, yeah, that's our plan. So my birthday, we'll start planning that. Pre-apocalypse birthday plan. Get drunk, spend quarters, look at fucking Princess Delphine.
Titties. What?
Nothing. So he's gonna play Dirk in Dragon's Lair.
That would be amazing. What if he was Alistair? God,
it'd
be so good.
Ryan Reynolds
I'm
is my
emailing him
boyfriend.
right now. I know he looks at his email.
Dear Ryan Reynolds, please play Alistair. I will fucking lose my shit.
Actually, I wouldn't want him to do it, and here's why. I'll tell you why.
He's too confident.
Nope, that's not even it. He could get there, I bet. The guy who voices him is a real actor, and he could do it.
Oh, girl.
I forget his fucking name, and I'm not going to Google it because my fucking fingers are going to be too loud. But he's a good like campy actor. Mm-hmm. He was in a couple episodes of Psych, the fake psychic detective show. Yeah. It's so good. Do you remember the rocker from that?
I don't.
The British. Okay. Mm-hmm. Anyway, I'll show you after this.
Yeah, show me later.
I think he could pull it off himself because it is him.
Yes. Okay. I'm kind of excited for this because Dragon's Lair was definitely my childhood growing up, like going to the arcade, throwing fucking quarters into a shit. Sadly, not getting drunk, but definitely sugar high, probably.
When you're a kid, I was thinking about this because in order to for like adults to fuck for the first time, you have to have alcohol involved. It's pretty much you do.
No, but
you have to have some sort of inebriation. You pretty much do. Not in all cases, because sometimes like the relationship develops, over time or whatever.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, in general, for like casual hookups and shit, you need alcohol.
Oh yeah,
you have
casual,
to have it.
fuck yeah.
Yeah. So, and when you're a teenager and this sort of shit happens, I was thinking about like why it still works for them, and it's because of the fucking hormones, right? So maybe there is some sort of crossover where, when you were playing arcade games and shit when you were younger, there's like this fucking just shit, like just clouding your fucking shit, and it's all just hormones and shit, and that's why it was fine. Because if you were like a sober, normal, like adult brain, it wouldn't have been as good.
I'm trying to think of when I played those games. I think I was like 7 or 8 when I played them in the arcade, so...
No, it wouldn't have been hormones.
I don't think so either. I think I was just learning that that's when I was bisexual. I was like, oh, I like ladies too. Okay. Anyway.
Damn, you learned that in the arcade?
Anyway! I learned that probably before the arcade. Oh, okay. I just didn't realize what it was. Anyway, so our BFF Valve is teaming up with a couple other people here, Microsoft and HP, to make a headset. They're gonna all collaborate, hold hands, and work on...
We all remember how good their controller was, right?
Yes. But this isn't the Steam this isn't the Steam controller. This is going to be their VR thing. And apparently Steam's Knuckles are some of the best, like, VR hand knuckles.
Wait. What? I thought you said headset.
It's going to be a VR headset.
Oh, VR headset. I'm sorry. I was thinking, like, stereo headset.
No.
Like...
No. This is it. It's gonna be. It's
wait. Valve already has one, don't they?
Yes, but I think this is gonna be their like kind of collaboration because like this is them trying to push like. So we're gonna talk about it a little bit when we talk about another article later with Alex and stuff like that. We're not gonna spoil anything. Don't worry, because I've been avoiding it like the plague.
Yep.
My VR headset should be here in a couple weeks, or not a couple weeks. This week, hopefully. fingers crossed. Anyway, so they're working with Microsoft and HP to come together because, like, HP came out with a Reverb headset a while ago. It was pretty cheap. It wasn't the greatest thing. And now they're going to be working with Valve to create a new one. And so hopefully this is going to be like a nice middle ground compared to the Valve Index. The Valve Index is like $1,000 fucking dollars. Like, who the fuck can actually afford that and like live? Not me. I know some of you can, which is great, and I'm jealous. But the simple fact is, like, most people can't throw that money away just to play a couple video games.
Yeah, there's no way. Like, I bought the Switch for one video game, but I cannot justify triple that price for one video game. I just can't. Or two, I guess. I would play Beat Saber, but I can't do it.
And like, I think I would play 3: Beat Saber, The Room, VR, and Alex. Right now,
I'm sure I would find something else, but it's like, it's different.
Probably VR chat.
Like, I've played other shit on my Switch, but it's like I could have taken or left that experience.
Right. And so, but like, I think this is going to be their nice middle ground. I think this is a smart move to collaborate with other people, because like Valve is about those gimmicks. Valve is about pushing technology and like developing this new stuff, and them to have like a cheaper alternative, I think is a smart move. So
I will say I'm conflicted on the VR thing, because I don't really feel like that's the way I want to play games right now. Even if it was free, I don't want the setup. I don't want to have to fucking. I like what I do now, which is sit at my computer. So it's gonna take so much to like convince me to finally like get into it. But I will respect the shit out of them for releasing an entire game exclusive to VR.
Right.
Like that is some balls. You know, they're losing out on shitloads of purchases because it's just on VR.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, not potentially.
Well, no, definitely. You're right.
It's fucking Half-Life.
You're definitely right. Because like, it is a Half-Life game, and it has that perceived value because it is from Valve. This is why people like Gabe so much, is his philosophy. I don't know. Did I link you the IGN interview with him, or did you see that at all? I think I did a little bit.
The very recent one. Yeah. It was a great interview because it kind of reminds you he's not a very public guy.
No,
well,
he's human.
He's public to like people. Yeah. Like, he'll answer emails and shit, but he doesn't go around doing interview tours and shit like that. But his philosophy on stuff is like, he never wants to do the same thing. He wants to be working on new shit all the time. Right. And he's like, his entire outlook on Half-Life, however you guys feel about it, he's like, the only reason that universe exists is for us to try new shit. And so that's why there's no Half-Life 3. Right. I'm pretty sure. Okay, you have an article about this later.
We do have an article about this later. I haven't read it yet. Skip ahead to it. Let's just skip ahead to it right now.
Yeah, do that.
Because that's one of the things with Valve's gimmicks, and that's the thing I actually linked in here, was the interview and stuff like that, was linking back to that. Why we don't have a Half-Life Episode 3, why we don't have a Half-Life 3, is because Valve is about gimmicks. Valve is about creating these mechanics.
I think calling it gimmicks is a little bit
underwhelming.
Let's see. It's just not exactly accurate. It's like new technology.
It is exactly that.
It's the idea of a new mechanic, and it sometimes it doesn't work out, right? Like, fuck the portal, or not portal. The what's the gun in Half-Life 2 called?
The gravity gun.
Gravity gun. That didn't take over all FPS games, but it was a new thing that they were trying to do, and it did set them apart. But it wasn't like they were trying to be this unique people. Like, a lot of people approach stuff like, oh, what's the unique thing we can come up with? They just like came up with this idea and like, oh, I guess we could like make a game to see how this plays out.
Right.
That's their thing. It's not like gimmick to me is like, we have this idea for a game. We need a hook. We need like a thing to make it interesting.
No.
They're like the opposite way. They make a game designed around
their technology,
the thing. Yeah. And it's I can't really think of an example of it not working, but
I mean, that's the whole...
It is them just trying shit.
Right, exactly.
You know?
That's the whole point of the Half-Life 2 engine and, like, their Valve engine and stuff like that. That's why we have Half-Life 2, and, like, at the very beginning...
The Source engine.
The Source engine, sorry. Mm-hmm. At the very beginning, that's how we had that stupid puzzle where you put the fucking block on one side, and then it tips you up, and then you fucking carry on your way. And that's literally the whole point of the fucking Source engine, is that one simple puzzle, and then you fucking go into this amazing game.
That it spawns so much different shit. Like, the Ravenholm level is so famous.
It's a horror
and
game.
it has nothing to do with that quote unquote gimmick, right? So it's cool that they take it and sort of like build an entire amazing thing around it. It's awesome. I would like to play Alex, but there is a part of me that's like, VR is just like not for me. Have you seen people playing? I watched a video the other day that was like 24 hours in Skyrim VR, like on a treadmill.
Oh no, that would be a nightmare. Why?
It was really cool. Because the treadmill adds a shitload.
Yeah.
Like that is probably the one unsolvable problem I think VR is gonna face is movement.
Yeah.
Well, it is facing, not is gonna.
Is definitely facing.
But is facing. The teleport stuff out for me. There's no chance I could get around that. There's no universe in which that's how I play video games. The other kind of movement is disorienting to a point that I've never played VR yet. But I feel like I'm very prone to motion sickness. I feel like that sort of that kind of movement with the controller still, while you're like, because the draw of VR is ultra immersion, but if there are still these other components that break down, it gets harder and harder for me to say yes.
Right.
You know?
And like, I think this is Valve's trying to like with Half-Life Alyx and everything, and like to go back to kind of that thing, is like them trying to push the limits of what we have for VR and maybe to accelerate and like push it to the thing where you're actually moving around and it's going to pick those up. And like, especially with the ones, because like the headset that I'm picking up is the Rift, and I don't need those little bases because I don't have the room for it. So that's why I bought this from my friend, and like, so I just literally plug it into my PC and I just go. But like the people who have like the bases and like have like a general area where they're moving in, like I think that's going to come into effect potentially in other games to see where you are within your bases. And like people who do have like fucking VR rooms and stuff like that have an advantage for certain games and stuff where other people will not.
Yeah. The even more that, well, not more, but equally to the cost, the dollar price tag, right? The space expenditure is fucking unbelievable. I live in a fucking one bedroom. There's just no chance. Even if someone gifted me VR, I would have to dismantle my fucking entire setup to be able to run it, you know?
Right.
So I'm excited to see what happens, but as a spectator, I think I would like to try it at some point. I've mentioned a billion times my friends have a place where I can do that, and I very much look forward to being able to do that.
Once this is all over, right?
Rash decisions. Maybe I'll play it and fucking go out and buy it the next day and just not have a living room.
There you go. Fuck your living room. Fuck your couch.
Yeah. Fuck your couch.
Fuck your couch.
Thanks, Juvenile.
Anyway, a couple little quickie things, and then we'll wrap up here. So Nier Replicant, which is I talked about Nier Automata like for 5 seconds earlier, is going to do a remastered version 10 years later, because it was only released in Japan and it was only released on the PlayStation.
Okay. I'm so glad you pulled this story, because I scrolled past it, and just via the tweet that I saw about it, I could not understand what this is. So it's a Nier game that was only in Japan?
Yes, it's a Nier game that was only released in Japan. It has very small connections to Nier Automata. So we'll be able to get to see those near connections. I've always wanted to play this one because, like, this one is more of an RPG compared to the hack and slash that is to be in Nier Automata. So it's a little different.
Yeah.
I have watched people.
It's not a platinum game.
It's different. I've heard mixed reviews on where this is going. So I heard it's going to be on the PC, the PlayStation 4, and the Xbox One before the release of the new 2 console gens. But I've also heard that it might be a mobile game, which kind of makes me nervous. And I'm hoping it won't be.
Yeah, that sounds terrible.
Right?
Okay.
But
I'll cautiously look forward to it, I guess.
Yeah, I think it's just kind of one of those things because, like, it was never released in the US, and, like, there's only one character, like the weird face character that 9S says, it's like, let's kill it, and then he rolls away. He's one of the main characters.
Oh yeah. Oh, weird.
Mm-hmm. He's one of the main characters in Replicant, so you'll kind of get to see him. But the last thing I wanted to bring up, and I already sent the supports because it made me laugh so fucking hard when I read this. But so Star Wars Jedi Academy was recently released to the PlayStation and the Switch. So the PS4 and the Switch just recently got this, and PC Master Race people who have been playing this game for the last fucking 13 years? Oh, no, I'm sorry. Yeah. 17 years. This came out in 2003. I always forget.
Oh, my God.
So they found a way, because it's accidentally cross-platform. So if you got the IP of a console person, you can invade their world and talk to them and interact with them, or you can just murder the fucking shit out of them, which has been happening relentlessly. So these console master race motherfuckers of Star Wars Academy have been invading poor little console people's games who just literally got the game potentially for the first time and just demolishing them. And I think it's hilarious.
That's fucking amazing.
And amazing and also kind of sad.
The multiplayer in that game is fucking absurd.
Insane.
It's so fucking funny.
It's insane.
Also, the engine was id Tech. That's so fucking amazing. Wow.
The fact that the engine still holds up to this day and like
well, it's id Tech. It's
I know.
It's so good.
But like Star Wars Jedi Academy had some of the best lightsaber, I think, mechanics and like movements and stuff like that.
Yes.
And like I know you love your Star Wars stuff. I do too, obviously. But like the fact that these poor like people who are on their consoles don't have the capacity that somebody that potentially has on their mouse and keyboard. They're just getting fucking destroyed. Also, this may be their first experience with the game, and somebody's invading them Dark Souls style. It's just...
It's so fucked up, but still so funny. I'm way into that.
I know, right? And, like, I feel kind of bad, because, like, you can only connect via LAN, and, like, or if you have a direct IP, so this is accidentally cross-platform. It just kind of makes me laugh.
Yeah. Accidentally, that's so funny.
Right? Like, it's like, oh, if...
I like how aware of this shit people are now, too. Like, these kind of stories have way more legs than they used to because of, you know, like the console wars, like fucking... what was it, Rocket League that accidentally turned it on or something?
Definitely,
like somebody turned it on too early, and then, yeah, that was great.
Yeah.
I love that shit.
No, that...
And, you know...
Oh, go ahead.
I was going to say, I don't remember if it was Rocket League or... Somebody turned it on. It was definitely on purpose to like prove it was possible, and it like started this whole fucking conversation. Sorry, that was my desk. And now we're getting it. We're fucking getting this.
We're definitely getting it.
Shit. It's
we
great.
got it with like a few of Xbox's games. Like it was supposed to happen with Sea of Thieves, but like the console people didn't want that. They're like, no, we don't want to deal with them.
It's so stupid.
And so like it ended up.
Doesn't make any sense.
It is stupid because like you just narrow the amount of people that are potentially playing that game, and you just like diminish that like even more.
Yeah. Yep.
It's stupid.
Stupid. Oh, let me say this. Also, speaking of Jedi Academy, I just looked it up to make sure, but 2003 was the best time to be a Star Wars video game fan.
I think 2003 and 2004 had some of the best games ever released.
KOTOR and fucking Jedi Academy released the same year. That's unbelievable.
KOTOR,
Holy
Jedi Academy, and then in 2004, Doom 3, and also Half-Life 2.
Yep. That's amazing.
Yep. 2004 was a good year for me. That's when I graduated. I'm old.
Oh, God, you're old.
Anyway, so that's it for news. Hey, Ports, where can people find you?
On Twitter, and my name is The Real Ports. And on Twitch, and my name is The Real Ports.
Oh, my God. That's amazing.
What's your name on the interwebs?
My name on the interwebs on Twitter, Twitch, and Instagram. If you want to see some food porn, hopefully I'll start posting again since I'm trapped inside a house. Is Evil Space Bunny.
Are you cooking much?
No.
Like, are you doing fancy shit or just like basic ass shit?
I'm literally eating noodles. So many noodles.
There's all these people posting on Twitter like, oh, this is like, how'd you learn how to make that? Oh, like some dude ate a bat or whatever. Like all these fucking quarantine jokes about people learning how to cook.
Yeah.
I'm pretty fucking sure they're lying because I don't. First of all, it's not accompanied by a picture.
Right.
And this is making me lazier, not more.
It's definitely made me lazier. I'm not gonna lie, because like we've eaten out so much fucking shit and it's stupid. But like, yeah. We want to try to support our local places that we love to death.
Yeah, it would be a nightmare if Buffalo Wild Wings closed down, right?
I forgot.
It'd be a fucking... Is that even a world worth living in?
Oh my God, you and your Buffalo Wild Wings. I just want my Thai place and my job to survive. So, yeah. Anyway.
Thanks everybody for listening. Thanks, Bunny, for being here. This is the Backlog. Episode 26.
Our drunkest podcast, I probably think.
See you next time. Yeah, I hope it's super easy to tell.
Oh God, I fucking hope so. Anyway, good luck, have fun, and stay safe, people. We love you. Please share our love with everybody else.
Share the love. It only takes one person to share some love. I don't know. Go watch the Pay It Forward movie. That's some relevant shit in it or something. That's how you spread a podcast. Go do that shit.
Yeah, let's share the love. Share the love.
Go door to door like you're selling Bibles.
Ew, I gotta go. Bye.